Hi, I'm Todd Wente, and this is the Daily 180. 180 seconds of motivation and inspiration intended to help you take action and make progress in your life. This is episode 617 of the Daily 180, and today we're going to be talking briefly about another quote by Rich Chada. He said in the interview that was done, and again, this comes from Tribe of Mentors. He said in the interview that was done with him, the question, if you could have a billboard that would say anything to people, what would you say? What would it be? And he said, for his answer, be so good that they can't ignore you. For me, when I first came across that, I thought to myself, that's pretty bold, being so good that people can't ignore you. And I had two responses to it. One of them was, in my world of performing, I kind of understand that. In my world of performing, where I've had to perform on stage and do different things, I know that there are techniques that I can use or things that I can do when I'm going after a role that make it so that I look like I'm the right fit for the part. Sometimes that includes things like dressing for the part and coming up with ideas for the character in advance. But it also has something to do with body of work. And this was where I started thinking about for the rest of my life, for my professional environment, not just for my avocation of performing, but for my professional life where I'm going to be applying for jobs, where I'm going to be applying for professional speaking gigs or other kinds of freelance training opportunities. Being so good that they can't ignore me connects to a lot of really interesting things. First off, for me, know the basics. If I know the basics of what I'm doing, if I know the basics of my career, of my field, the basics of the conversation or the topic that I'm going to be presenting on, and I've got those down cold, maybe that puts me a little ahead of my competition. The second thing is know what makes me different. I am not the norm, okay? When it comes to professional speakers and professional researchers and some of those kinds of things, I am very aware. I am not the norm. And for me, that means that I have to be aware of that and recognize that there will be some people who may not want what I bring. They can't ignore me. They'll know me that I'm there. But it also means that there are people who are looking for what I provide, and for them, they'll recognize it. And for those who are looking for the kind of thing that I provide, then I become really valuable. And the last thing is, I really have to believe in myself. It's one thing to be so good that they can't ignore me. It's another thing to believe in myself enough that I can put myself out there and be seen. If you're like me, sometimes that's the hardest piece of the whole puzzle. But that's the one that is completely within our control as well. So maybe it's something I need to be thinking about if I'm going to make progress in those aspects. Hopefully this has been useful for you. Hopefully this gives you something to think about. As I always say, hit the button to subscribe, hit the bell to be reminded. This has been the Daily 180. My name is Todd Wente. Nullum diem. Have a great day.